Hey everyone, we're the Hills, and today we're heading to Springs Tap House Cinema in the heart of Sandy Springs to catch the brand new rom-com You, Me, and Tuscany, starring Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean Page. This movie literally just dropped today, and we couldn't wait to see it, so let's dive in. So, Springs Tap House is one of our favorite spots to catch a movie because of the vibe and the food. So, let's see how this romantic getaway flick holds up. And of course, a movie isn't a movie without snacks. Finding our seats, ready to be transported to Tuscany for the next 104 minutes. Okay, so we just finished the movie, and before we get into what our thoughts are on the movie itself, here's a little synopsis of what the movie's about. So, You, Me, and Tuscany is basically a feel-good romantic comedy about a woman named Anna, played by Halle Bailey, who is having a quarter-life crisis. She's lost her job, she's lost her housing, and honestly, she's just lost. So what does she do? She spontaneously books a flight to Italy to crash at a villa belonging to this guy, Matteo, she barely knows. Classic impulsive decision. But here's the plot twist. When she gets to the villa, Matteo's mother shows up unexpectedly, and instead of being honest about who she is, Anna pretends to be Matteo's fiance. And obviously, chaos ensues.
Alright, so let's talk about what we've liked about the movie.
Okay.
So I'll go first. For me, I think, honestly, like, you know me, I like rom-coms. I like cheesy movies. So I already knew what to expect going into it. But I was actually not expecting it to have, like, some funny, like, genuine funny moments. Like, I just went in thinking, like, you know, it's going to be corny. It's probably going to be, like, them Lifetime movies or whatever. I genuinely was not expecting much. And which is, like, I recommend when you go see a movie, like, try not to go into it with high expectations, because then you go into it and then you get disappointed. And that's why you see all these complaints from people in past movies, like, going into it with the high expectations and then leaving disappointed. So I went into it with just like, an open mind and just, like, excited. And I actually I was genuinely surprised to find, like, some funny moments in the movie that I was like, okay, it's actually kind of funny a little bit. Like, it had its moments here and there. Obviously, like, there were some moments where it was like, okay, this is cheesy, but for the most part, there were some moments where I really thought it was actually, like, I was actually laughing. And there are people in the movie theater that were laughing with us, too. Like, I was...
Laughing loud.
Yeah, laughing loud, too. So I was, like, surprised. I was like, okay, they did their thing. It honestly gave me similar vibes. So Will Packer produces the movie, so it really reminded me of, like, some of his other movies that he's made. Like, for example, Think Like a Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was giving me that vibe. Like, comedy-wise, it was giving me that vibe. So, because that was actually the first movie of his that I watched that I was introduced to. And I remember years ago, everybody was talking about Think Like a Man and how funny that was. So, like, the whole, like, the vibe, like, the light feeling and, you know, comedic moments vibe, it was definitely giving me, like, some, similar Will Packer movies. But yeah, I would say that was one of the things that I liked about the movie.
Okay. Yeah, I think the movie overall was pretty good. It was very funny. It had some good comedic moments. I like the cast. I think they had a really well-balanced cast. And everyone did a good job at playing their role and being like a holistic approach to a movie. You had kind of all the elements throughout the cast, but I think Halle Bailey did good. She did good at being the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like her acting debut?
No, she's the Little Mermaid.
Oh, that's right.
And even still, that's not like her acting debut. I think her first ever. Well, she's been acting. Her and her sister Chloe have been acting since they were kids. Recently, the most recent TV show they were in was Grownish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of that TV show. Yeah, they played twins in that movie or in that show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say like her movie debut, I would say like movie theater debut was The Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, she did really good for this type of movie. At like holding the attention and leading the movie as the main character. I thought it was a standard rom-com plot. Kind of you expect what's gonna happen. Nothing really unexpected happened, but they did a good job at like laying the whole story out and weaving in comedy into the movie, into the romantic scenes. So.
Yeah. I agree. I think they all did a good job. I think the cast, they picked a really good cast. I would say like the Italian family surprised me a bit. Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to be kind of like, I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting for some of the supporting cast members to be funny, like have their moments as well, where they shine. Like for example, the sister of the Italian guy. Yeah, she was actually pretty funny. Like you know what I'm talking about?
What's his name? Marco? I'm trying to think what's
Mateo. Yeah, his sister. Yeah. She was, I think she definitely helped the film for sure. Like she really held down the film. Mm-hmm. And then obviously like her best friend had her moments too. Like Anna's best friend, she had her moments too. The girl that's always calling her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had her moments. And even the different scenes. The scenes in the vineyard with the tour group. Yeah. That was the funniest. That for me was one of the funniest moments. But for sure, like the people that were part of the tour group and like their moments, so they had some funny moments.
Yeah, that was a good cut scene that they.
That was good. That was really good. So yeah, I think overall, I agree. I think the cast did a great job. I think the acting was pretty good. You could see Halle's really like growing in her acting as well. Like she's getting better in her acting because I've watched pretty much a lot of her work for the most part, and you see her like really like getting better and better with her acting. And I think she did a really great job in this movie. Like she wasn't drowned out by all of like the comedians or the comedic stars, I should say, or people who were the funny characters in the movie. Like she wasn't like drowned out. Like she still held her own and did her thing in the movie. Right. I think Regé, the one that played the male lead, he did a great job too. It's so funny. Every time I see him, I still see the Duke from Bridgerton. You didn't know he's.
So that explains the Bridgerton reference in the show.
It's not.
Spoiler alert! No. If you watch this, you might you might hear something.
He was in Bridgerton. He played the Duke in Bridgerton. Okay. But yeah, I think he did a great job too of just like playing the male lead in the movie. And yeah, just overall, I think it was great. They had its funny moments. The scenery, the setting was beautiful.
Yeah, the setting was nice.
We both were like, we gotta go back to Italy. Yeah, and like the close-up shots of like different food and stuff, but made me hungry in that movie theater. I love it. I love when movies do like on location stuff. Like I love when they do like on location because it makes it actually like transports you to that location versus like I get for budget reasons some people like do green screen or whatever, maybe they build it on in like a studio, but like when they actually are able to afford to go to the location itself and they're able to like really just showcase the beauty of the location. Like, I felt like I was watching one of those travel vlogs. No, for real, because, I get inspired by the travel vlogs, and now I'm just like, we gotta go to Tuscany. Yeah. Anything else you liked about the movie?
Could live in Italy for a couple months.
You said could live in Italy?
Could live in Italy for a couple months.
No.
What else I I think overall it was a good movie. It was, I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
It kept me engaged, entertained. It they started off with action.
Yeah.
It didn't start off slow. It started off kind of fast and comedic.
Yeah.
Right? So I think they started off in a good way and kind of kept that rhythm throughout the entire length of the movie, which made it more digestible and, made it actually a good movie to watch. So
yeah, I always judge a film by how well can you keep me engaged, because like the way my mind can just like if I get bored or if it's dragging on for too long, my mind will just start thinking about other things, or if I'm tired I might fall asleep. So the fact that I was able to stay engaged throughout the movie is is a good sign for me. I think this would definitely has the potential to be like a comfort movie for a lot of people. Like once it goes to like streaming, I think this will be like a comfort movie for some folks, like similar to like past classic rom-coms or whatever. I think this would be added to like those list of movies that people will just turn on whenever they feel like, wanting to watch a good old rom-com at home.
Is there anything they could have done to make the movie better for you?
So as far as like what could have been better, so a couple again, like I said, I went into it with no expectations. Okay, I know it's a rom-com. It's not like this huge blockbuster or deep thinker or Oscar award. Not saying it's not has the potential to get an Oscar, but it's not one of those like movies with Oscar buzz or whatever. It was a light-hearted rom-com. So I didn't go into high expectations. I do wish though, like especially with the potential of like those two strong leads, like you got the Little Mermaid, you got the Duke of Bridgerton, just like Regé and Halle. I wish that they would have dived a little, gave us, how do I say this? Like maybe dived a little bit deeper into their connection. Like gave us more of a storyline of their connection. Like there was a lot, different things going on, which I'm glad they did to add more to the storyline so it wasn't boring. But, maybe show us even a little bit more of the chemistry. There was definitely chemistry there for sure. And they had their moments where you could see that chemistry building. I just wish they would have added like, a little bit more scenes of showing that chemistry building some more. Because like one of the things that people complain about with like Hallmark movies is that 1 minute the guy and the girl meet, and like 3 minutes later they're already kissing and wanting to get married. Like you don't see like the build up of their tension, whereas like you see it in some other movies that do really well, in like rom-coms or even just romance in general, is like it's that build up, that tension, In
your perspective, they met and then kind of there was chemistry there initially?
Yeah, there was some chemistry. You could see the chemistry. I liked that in the beginning they had like a little tension of like like a love-hate type thing or whatever, where in the beginning you could tell that she was not feeling him or she was upset or whatever. I wish they would have built more on that and like kind of like gave us more of like that build up of like going from like hate to like, oh, I really like this guy, to like, oh, there's like really chemistry there. Obviously there's so much you can do in like a 2 hour, it wasn't even 2 hours, like an hour and 45-minute film, so I get it. But if they had to like, if they were in the editing room and trying to figure out what to swap scenes for, I wish they would have like gave us maybe swapped one of the other scenes that involve other family members to like give us another scene, at least 1 or 2 more scenes showing like that build up of like Regé, or I keep saying Regé, Michael, that's his name, Michael and Anna, their character, like that build up of, because like I love when I can feel that, and like I'm being taken on this like romantic journey. Again, it's a rom-com, so obviously like it's not solely just on the romance, or there's the comedy elements to it. And it's supposed to be like, just a little, all the silly things happening. So I get it's not just focused on that. But I would have loved at least like one additional scene that just showed like that build up, that tension, the build up of their chemistry a little bit more. Right. So that I can be taken on that journey too a little bit more. It just felt like it wasn't rushed like a typical Hallmark movie, but I just think that maybe they could have added at least one more scene.
Okay.
What do you think?
Like my separate feedback, or
like what do you think they could have done better?
Oh, I mean, this is just a personal thing for me, but I don't like. I like a less predictable plot, and I like something that like. Remember when I was like, he's about to be there, he's about to be in the house. Literally, the next scene, he was right there. I already knew that would eventually happen, so it's like, it's not a bad movie. I just like a twist. I always appreciate a movie where it's like, I think it's gonna go one way, and they do something. It's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. This one, they didn't have that. Everything happened pretty much as you would expect it from watching. And if you've seen a rom-com and you kind of understand how they develop the plot, this falls into that very same category. You can kind of predict what's going to happen. I like a surprise. I like something that typically you haven't seen before, or something that you're not expecting. So that'd be the only thing. I think it was a good movie. I just, not maybe a personal preference. I like a twist.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, like the plot was a little thin or whatever. Basically.
Yeah, it's predictable. It was very predictable. You know, you knew she was gonna go to the house, right?
Yeah,
you knew.
Try not to give spoilers, but I get what you mean. I think, and again, it is common in rom-coms, but not saying it is not possible, because we have seen some rom-coms where there was like where you thought it was just like gonna go a certain way, like most rom-com storylines are gonna go, and then they give us a twist at the end.
Right.
Yeah, like we've seen some that are like that. So I definitely think that there's a potential for that. So yeah, I agree. I think that's a note for like the script writers, is like, just like if they do a sequel, like maybe add a little, maybe one twist in there, or something that's like you weren't expecting.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Again, like I said, it's, for the most part, like, it is a rom-com. We didn't go into it with much expectations or whatever, and it's pretty expected for a rom-com. Overall, though, I think even with it being, as you said, probably predictable, and it did have like this little cheesy moments here and there, overall, I think it was pretty good. It was definitely, like I said, I didn't expect to laugh the number of times that I did. I will say that. I definitely was not expecting that. I genuinely was not expecting that at all. So definitely that for me was like a surprise and delight for sure. It was just like the little funny moments that they had in the movie. But yeah, I'll say that's it.
Yeah.
Another thing that I did not like, or that not even did not like, but I would have liked to see more of, let me say that, it's because they're in such a beautiful setting, and I don't know if it was just like they were limited in options of like where to go, but I would love to see even more of Tuscany.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if there are any like marks, like landmarks or anything that Tuscany is really known for. I think Tuscany is like a wine spot, which is why they have the vineyards, obviously.
Yeah.
But if there is anything that people would see and recognize Tuscany, they didn't leverage anything like that. Or maybe I'm just ignorant now.
I mean, we haven't been to Tuscany, so we don't know. Maybe what they showed was pretty much the highlights, But if there were more to give, especially with Tuscany being in the title, with them, talking about how beautiful it is in a lot of like their press run, I would have wanted to see even more. They did a great job of showing us Tuscany as it is. Yeah. But I wanted to see more of that. Maybe it's just they were limited on time or whatever. But I wanted to see more of just like that landscape and like the different highlights. And I'm trying to think of like another movie that does a great job at doing that. I don't know if maybe Cheetah Girls 2 did a great job, or Cheetah Girls 3, where they showed like a lot of like the different scenery.
When they were in Spain?
Yeah, like Cheetah Girls 2, when they did show a lot of like, especially in a lot of their music scenes where they were like running or roaming around Barcelona, and you could see like all the different things and like different landmarks and whatnot,
right? And
like the people there interacting with them, and like even Cheetah Girls 3, when they were in India, they did a great job of that too. So, but I don't know if they were limited in just time as well, and so like it obviously didn't have a music sequence to take advantage of doing that. But I would have loved to like see maybe a little bit more. Maybe it's just me being greedy, but I want to see maybe just like maybe 1 or 2 more landmarks or.
And also, I think we just need to. Are there any landmarks in Tuscany?
Yeah.
I know Tuscany, like I said, I think it's a wine country, so the vineyards may be the thing. Like people go and look at the vineyard, and that's the main draw for that region of Italy, right? Because they don't have the Leaning Tower of Pisa, they don't got the Colosseum, they don't got the River Walk, like some of the other Italian cities. So maybe like for Tuscany, that's just it. And also, they were in a small town. Right, they made sure to say, like, it's a small town, everyone really knows each other, so they weren't in a larger area that might have some of those landmarks.
That's true. I mean, in the beginning when she was getting a little mini tour, like maybe that was just it. Maybe we just need to go see it for ourselves and see, like maybe that is it. But those of you who have been to Tuscany, let us know. Did they do a good job at capturing the beauty of the area? Or do you also feel like there were more landmarks or things that they could have shown or highlighted in the movie when it comes to Tuscany? Let us know.
One of my favorite characters, underrated, the taxi driver. He was funny.
Yeah. He had his moments. I think he definitely also shined in the movie. He was one of the characters that definitely helped. Well, just shined overall in the movie. Like I said, I was very surprised by like the Italian cast members for sure. Not saying that they're, like I have low expectations of them, but just more so like that they definitely like shined. Like they definitely played their part when it came to supporting cast for sure, which is so important. I feel like it's so important in movies that people. I mean, there's a reason why there's a whole category for best supporting actor and actress in Oscars and all those award ceremonies because they're just as important. Like you are not supporting like the leads only, you're supporting the movie. Like you are also what we see in the film, and it's not like a one-man band. We can't just only rely on the leads to help bring the story to life. Like you also play a great role. I'm saying you like they're supporters, but like supporting actors and actresses, they play a huge role in helping to like put that film on their back basically, and making sure that film is successful. Because we're seeing scenes from that involve you too. Like, a movie could be so great and have like a movie could have like 2 great lead actresses, like award-winning lead actor and lead actress that are in the movie. But if they have like a lackluster supporting cast members or whatever, then that could really like play a part in just like not making the film great. I've seen movies where the leads were doing as much as they could and like giving us the best acting that they could, but because of the supporting cast, it just like fell flat for me. I've seen that. I've seen movies like that. I think they did a good job. The taxi driver, the sister, they all did it. I think they all did a great job.
The social media brother was like,
yeah.
But everybody not like you gotta play a role, He also didn't have very many speaking parts.
He got a lot of lines,
Yeah.
But I think overall, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So if they do a sequel, like I said, hopefully they have those notes in mind of like giving us a little bit more of the landscape if they do another like on set type movie, and then maybe also just like give us a little bit more of like the rom-com as well. And like you said, maybe a little less. There's like a twist, maybe at least one twist in there that we're expecting.
I guess the twist they tried to give us was with the grandmother. But I would say this. I'm not going to spoil it. I would say this, though. They kind of foreshadowed her, and this is also like what I would like to see. They foreshadowed her a lot to really only give her like one time to shine. Like from the very start, they kept foreshadowing her, and she kind of were looking all crazy. And then they didn't really use that. Like that could have potentially been something else, or they could have used that more.
That could have been like more of like a climax in the movie, where like maybe that could have been some. If I were to rewrite it, maybe her role would have been like she were the one to like spill the beans almost, or like she were to like discover it or whatever.
Uncover something. They almost made you think that was gonna happen at some point. Like
which didn't.
Yeah.
She didn't really shine until like towards the end end of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was just one thing. It was like strange because they kept like foreshadowing.
Yeah, they could have used her more. I agree.
And then didn't really do anything with that.
Yeah, they could have used her a little bit more. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, a lot of potential there. But overall, I think the movie was really great. Definitely go see it. I think it is everything you can expect in a rom-com, but a little bit more funny moments, I think, for sure. And yeah, if you're somebody that likes these types of movies, like myself, this can definitely be like a comfort movie for you, especially when it hits streaming platforms.
Would you watch it again?
I would definitely watch it again. I think I would definitely, like I said, this is something like I would definitely put on again. Like it would be on like in my collection of comfort movies for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I would watch it again. I would also watch it if they have a sequel. I would like to see what happens next.
I'm about to say, what's a potential storyline for the sequel?
They can go a couple different ways.
We can't disclose what the potential storyline would be without giving up too much of the
movie, but I think they could go a couple different ways with it, for sure. Yeah, I think they could.
I can't see it.
You can't? I think they can go a couple different ways. Maybe dive a little bit deeper into like...
What's the issue, right? Like
maybe they dive into maybe dive a little bit deeper into like Michael's family, and his side and like his story a little bit more. They could go that route. They could go into
introduce a new character, probably.
Probably they could even like maybe go the Hallmark route and like something happens with the vineyard and now they gotta save the vineyard or whatever. Like, it could be a couple different ways that they can go about it. If they were to do a sequel. Also, there are some great rom-coms that are just great as just like standalones and they don't need sequels. But if they were, the only reason why I would want a sequel is just I really want to see. I was very excited when they were announced, like Halle and Regé. I'm like, ooh, that is a good-looking couple for a film. Obviously, I know like they're both occupied in real life, but I would, if they do a sequel, I would want to see a sequel just so I could see more of their connection and their chemistry and everything. Like I would want to see a little bit more of that.
Okay.
So like overall, what would you give this movie a rating out of 10?
For a rom-com, I would give it a 7.
Okay, a 7?
Yeah.
I would say for me, I would give it... Now, look, if it weren't for especially the last scene, like the last like funny scene, which was, I'm not going to say exactly where, but I would say like stay for the credits. But if it weren't for that, I probably would have been at a 7.5. But the ending, the last part of the movie, towards the credits, definitely bumped it up to an 8 for me. Because I was like, oh, this is hilarious. Like those last couple lines at the credits, it was pretty funny. So I would say that helped it and brought it to an 8 for me. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Now, if you saw the movie, what did you think about it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you loved it, let us know. We'd love to hear what resonated with you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more reviews. See you next time. Now, if you saw the movie, what did you think about it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you loved it, let us know. We'd love to hear what resonated with you. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more reviews. See you next time.